Googly Moogly, April the 18th. My name is Sean Carrier. Thank you for watching Bet Edge. The NBA playoffs are in full swing. Every series has played at least one game, and we were kind of laying low last week. The reason being, I like to watch at least one game in every series before we dive back in with some real wagers. And the reason for that, let's be honest, all of the teams come in very well rested, very well prepared, and the lines makers also have those few extra days to make these lines so concise for game ones. I really feel that the lines are just really, really tight, and the edges are few and far between. But we've seen at least one game in every series, and I think that's a little platform to build from. And I believe that that there is some value to be had going forward. And so the first NBA playoff bet that we're going to release for this year is going to come in the Utah Jazz LA Clippers series. And the Utah Jazz getting it done in game one. Joey Johnson with the fadeaway jumper to give the Jazz a 1-0 lead in this series. But the Utah Jazz lose what, in my estimation, their best player in Rudy Gobert for probably at least a week. I think that this injury and the situation of the Clippers being down one game provides some great betting value. So the bet we're thinking of making here in this series is a game and series double bet currently offered on Bet365. If you scroll to the NBA futures section, I believe it's in the second row, right in the middle. Game and series double is the section you want to click on. Currently getting 80 cents on the dollar for the LA Clippers to win game two and win the series together. So it's like a parlay in a single bet, but I absolutely love it. And it's basically because of this Rudy Gobert injury. So let's take a look at some quotes here from Roto World, basically saying that Rudy Gobert is dealing with a hyperextension and a bone bruise in his left knee. So this is typically an injury that takes at least a week, usually two, before players can come back from this injury. And so he's definitely out for game two. He's most likely out for game three, and I'd be shocked also to see him in game four. So the Utah Jazz are going to have to kind of hold it together here over the next three games, at least, without Rudy Gobert, and I just do not like their chances to do so. So they were able to win game one. We'll take a look at the box score here. Ever so narrowly, but they were able to win game one. And in my estimation, what happened here, the Jazz had no choice but to go small when Rudy went down, and it really caught the LA Clippers off guard. The Clippers were not prepared to deal with this Jazz team without Rudy Gobert on the floor for long stretches of time. And I mean, if I'm Doc Rivers and I'm preparing my team for game one, I'm really preparing them for Rudy Gobert, right? I mean, you got to box that guy out. You can't give him offensive rebounds. He's their best rim protector. He's basically the linchpin of the defense. And the Jazz have been a top three rebounding team all year long. And I think most of that credit should go to Rudy Gobert. So, I mean, without him in the lineup for the next three games, it's really going to hit this Jazz team in a bunch of spots. And, let's start with this going small thing. It worked for them in game one, but I believe that this edge is going to get lessened and lessened as this series goes along. And, let's just look at the players that have to pick up the slack for Rudy Gobert. It's an ageful bunch. I mean, it's Boris Diaw, Joe Johnson. They didn't play Jeff Withey at all, really. So it's really those two players, Diaw and Johnson, that have to pick up the slack for Rudy. And let's face it, these are older players. This could be the end of the road for both of these gentlemen. I don't think either one expected to play above 30 minutes a game for this Jazz team, but that's what's going to happen here without Rudy Gobert. And just the size and strength of the LA Clippers front court there with Blake Griffin and DeAndre Jordan, that's just going to continue to wear and wear on this Jazz side as this series goes along. And I think it starts tonight, and I think it gets worse and worse for this Jazz team over the next week. I think the Clippers are almost a lock to win tonight, and I think that they're going to win one, if not two, of the first games in Utah also without Rudy Gobert. So you're getting 80 cents on the dollars here with the Clippers to win today and win the series. I think there's just extreme value there. We'll take a look at the stat graphic here. And on paper, these two teams are very close. The LA Clippers with a 3-point advantage in offense per 100 possessions. Utah with a 3-point advantage in defense per 100 possessions. The field goal percentage, very similar, but the Clippers do hold an edge there. Points per shot the same. The rebounding here should really deliver a blow to the Jazz here without Rudy Gobert. I would look for this rebounding percentage to go down to the high 40s for the next 3 or 4 games. Turnover percentage, the Clippers win there, and projected score 102-102. But I really think that each and every one of these categories is going to take a little ding without Rudy Gobert. I mean, if you just think about the offensive rebounding on offense, the second chance opportunities that he gives them, putback dunks, I mean, he's among the NBA leaders in that category. So I would look for this number to take a little blow there. Their defense, I mean, as I said, he's basically their linchpin on defense, where they can kind of funnel guys into that lane towards the rim, and then all of a sudden there's this 7-footer there just blocking your shot. They will not have that luxury for the next 3 or 4 games, and he's a dunk machine. He's one of the highest field goal percentages in the NBA. I would look for their field goal percentage to go down a little bit, which would make the points per shot go down a little bit. As we said, that rebounding should go down a little bit also. So I would look for an uptick in all of these Clippers numbers and a small downward trend in all of these Utah numbers, which I think is going to give LA just a tremendous advantage going forward here in this series. So at almost 2-1, you can sign me up. It's enough reasons for us to put it on the board. The LA Clippers game and series double. I absolutely love this bet. I'm going to throw 2 units on action. I mean, you got to wait a week and a half for it to pay off anyway, right? So 2-unit selection, the LA Clippers to win game and win series. I absolutely love it. I fully expect to be growing the bankroll with this selection. So I really hope this selection helps any selections you're thinking of making tonight in the NBA. If you have any questions or comments for other games or other series, get at us on Twitter and definitely follow us over there. That's our homepage. All of our picks, videos, and betting tools get posted up there, and it's all absolutely free. So follow us on Twitter at bet_edge. I'll definitely post a link in the description below. So as always, guys, thank you for tuning in. Good night and good luck.